Breaking news, it looks like J.J. Abrams is creating a new Constantine live-action movie for DC. Oh, the possibilities. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button and let's get right into this. It's wild because it's a Marvel Monday, and I like to do Marvel videos on Monday, but just the DC news just doesn't stop. And in fact, I want to remind you, we are doing another community live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the live streaming channel. And we're talking all about the DC multiverse possibilities. Come on by our live streaming channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to come hang out and talk some DC with us. Okay, so this is coming from the direct. It is an exclusive. I'm going to read right from the article a little bit, and then we will break down what this means. It says right here, according to a reliable source with industry knowledge, a live-action Constantine movie is in development at Warner Brothers, with Bad Robot serving as the production company and J.J. Abrams attached as a producer. The film will have a similar feel and tone to Bad Robot's other current upcoming projects, which include Justice League Dark HBO Max show as well as the Zatanna movie. It is currently unknown whether this will be a soft reboot with Keanu Reeves reprising the titular role, or will this be a complete reboot with a new actor portraying the character. Now, we took Saturday off from making videos because of the 4th of July, so we actually didn't cover the Zatanna scoop, but this broke late Friday. It was an exclusive got by DCEU Mythic and Jeremy Conrad, friend of the channel over there. This was a big freaking deal, so let's talk about that for just a second, and we'll talk about how all this crazy stuff is gonna tie together. Woohoo! Jeremy said on Friday, "I've learned today that Warner Brothers has finally begun development on a movie featuring Zatanna, and I am told that this is separate from the Justice League Dark project Bad Robot is working on. It also sounds like the characters who may have been members of the Justice League Dark might also head to the big screen, but that's much further out." Okay, pretty wild reports. Again, just so many possibilities. It's kind of like amazing the amount of crazy DC stuff that we could talk about and speculate about, and we will do some of that again tonight during the community stream. But I think the real big question is this going to be Keanu Reeves coming back to DC to play John Constantine, or will they take the Matt Ryan version from the CW shows and integrate him into that universe over there? Now, Keanu Reeves has actually said in the past that he really enjoyed playing John Constantine, and he would like to return to that role. So that's out there. We also know from some of the scoops surrounding the Justice League Dark HBO Max show itself that Abrams and Bad Robot were looking for A-listers, and Keanu is one of the most A-level A-listers that are out there right now. And if you just look at some of the things going on right now, with them signing potential contracts with Ben Affleck, with them signing Michael Keaton, with them going all out, I would not be surprised if DC is willing to back the money truck up to get Keanu Reeves to sign up to a multi-picture deal. Now, the other side of this that's really interesting is I have heard some people talking about in some chatter online that this Zatanna movie might actually be on HBO Max, that it might not actually come out in theaters. And what's so weird to me is I almost feel like that's an irrelevant conversation. I feel like in 2 to 3 years, movies that are coming out on some of these streaming platforms will be just as big as movies that come out in the theaters, and that also has something to do with what's going on with theaters currently, you know, with the shutdown and the reopen and everything like that. But that is really interesting because remember, HBO Max, that was where J.J. Abrams signed to do content. I believe that his contract is to develop content for HBO Max. The reasoning and rationale behind that is they know the streaming wars have begun. They know content on a streaming service is a big freaking deal. And so the massive deal that they did with J.J. Abrams would likely be focused on HBO Max. Now, that is not to say that he couldn't turn around and then do something live action for the theaters. And a lot of people think that's what he wants to do with the Superman movie that he might be developing, okay? But there's a lot of confusing and interesting conversations around this idea here. I think another thing that DC fans are really questioning about this is this stuff all going to be connected? Meaning, will the characters from the Justice League Dark show up in the Zatanna movie and vice versa? Is Zatanna going to be in Justice League Dark? Will her father be in Justice League Dark? Will John Constantine be in Justice League Dark and then his own thing? And will they all connect together? Now, at this point, we think that the multiverse is going to be introduced to technically connect all live-action DC properties in general. But I think the real question becomes then, are the Justice League Dark characters and the Zatanna and the John Constantine that we are talking about in this report, are they all going to be from the same universe within the DC multiverse? There's nothing that says that they have to, but I do think that would be really cool and a sweet way to build some connective tissue for those properties. I said in the last video where I was breaking down Ben Affleck supposedly signing a new contract that it really looks like they're going to let JJ do his thing, build up his little arm of the DC multiverse. They're going to let Zack Snyder do his thing and even continue past the Snyder cut of Justice League into perhaps his other films and that big arc that he had planned. A lot of people think that's what Ben Affleck's going to sign, and that will live on HBO Max. The CW shows are going to continue to do their thing, and they might even do other things in live action that are separate from all of these other things. So it's crazy, but the multiverse could be the explanation for all of this. And the thing that's exciting as a DC fan is we're no longer going to be restricted to what they think is the best way to use these characters. I've said this before, but the CW shows have been handicapped because the studio has said in the past that they don't want a Superman or a Batman over there if he's going to be on another show or another film, right? They had to kill their Suicide Squad from the Arrowverse because the Suicide Squad movie was coming out. That doesn't seem to be a concern anymore. It feels like now we're going to be able to have our cake and eat it too and just get so much DC goodness, and I'm personally all for it. But of course, let us know what you think about this, and if you can, come on by the live streaming channel at 9 tonight to have a discussion with all of us. And now let's shout out Glenn White. Yes, indeed, Mark Hamill recently admitted he didn't know who Ahsoka Tano was on Twitter. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. In DC Comics, Zatanna's father is a very popular character. I want to know, what is the name of Zatanna's father in DC Comics? Answer that question in the comment section below. And before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody that this Wednesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the next round of our epic trivia contest, the Nerd Card Showdown, takes place. Make sure you're there.